The Public Service Commission has received an overwhelming 81,873 applications for 277 graduate entry-level vacancies across 18 government entities. Addressing journalists, Winnie Agnes Kababgoza, the chairperson of the Public Service Commission, said that the response demonstrates the state of unemployment in the country and the continued demand for public service jobs among Uganda's youth and graduates. Out of the total applications, only 43,123 met the shortlisting criteria. Now, police in Mbale City are holding a woman in connection with the fatal stabbing of her boyfriend, Jonathan Wanambwa, who has been a popular music MC in bars in Mbale, was allegedly stabbed by his girlfriend after he invited another girl to his home as she visited. It is alleged that Wanambwa, while hosting Gerardine and Namono, he invited another girl, Sonia Helia, to visit him. Helia's arrival infuriated Namono, who started quarreling with the deceased. He asked Namono to leave his house, but she just picked a knife and stabbed him in the back. Wanambwa died as he was being rushed to Mbale Hospital. His neighbors managed to arrest Namono and handed her over to police. At least 50 couples are expected to exchange vows during a mass wedding organized by the Church of Uganda at St. Paul's Cathedral, Namirembe Diocese. The ceremony is scheduled for Friday next week, is being organized as a gesture of goodwill to the congregation aimed at strengthening evangelism and community cohesion. Speaking at a press briefing held at the cathedral, Reverend Moses Abanja, the Bishop Namirembe Diocese, highlighted the value of mass weddings in the current generation. He noted that many couples are unable to afford the high costs associated with individual wedding ceremonies, and initiatives like these provide a practical relief while celebrating love and faith.
The arrangement that we made as the diocese to give back to our Christians for what God has given us. We also have to give back. We organize these weddings. We give whatever is required. We even prepare their gowns, their suit, and everything. We try to do that. Organizing their reception, their wedding cake, and whatever you want. Because we realize that some of our Christians would wish to be wedded in the church. But because they can't really meet the requirement of a church wedding, so they keep themselves at home and keep their spouses without introducing them before our God.
Bishop Banja described the mass wedding as part of the church's evangelical outreach, encouraging all Christian couples to embrace holiness and take the opportunity to solemnize their marriages. Meanwhile, the Church of Uganda will also host its diocesan convention on the 21st of September this year at Namirembe Cathedral.
We actually invite even those who have not come, who are not going to be part of this wedding this year, that next year, after these weddings, we are going to begin registering those who come next year. And it is a way of preaching and spreading God's message to people out there. This is what God intends for us, and wants us to be married in holy matrimony. It is a calling, and He calls us His holy, as in 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 15 and 16. He who is calling us is holy. And God has to live a holy life, a holy marriage, and He wants us to be holy in all conduct.
Moving on, 2 people in Kasese district have been critically injured by a hippo that escaped from the Queen Elizabeth National Park into the community in the areas of Nyamwamba division in Kasese municipality. John Awaye, 56 years, who is admitted to Canopus Health Care and Pharmaceuticals Uganda Limited, says he was attacked by the hippo. He suspects it came out of River Nyamwamba while in his garden. Meanwhile, Junior Bwambale, 17, is admitted to Mountain St. Mary's Hospital with serious injuries on his stomach. A team from the Uganda Wildlife Authority visited the scene and killed the hippo. Pimako Kasereka, the chairperson Yamamba Division, wants the Uganda Wildlife Authority to expedite the process of erecting an electric fence on the remaining open stretch of the park. Bashir Hanji, the Uganda Wildlife Authority spokesperson, regretted the incidents, pledging the authority's support to the victims' medical bills. And now in sports, the Federation of Uganda Football Association, FIFA, has announced a significant increase in the prize money for the upcoming league season. The champions will now take home 100 million shillings, up from the previous 60 million shillings. The runners-up will take a prize. The runners-up prize has been raised substantially to 62 million shillings from 20 million, while the third-place team will receive 56 million shillings. FIFA President Moses Magogo acknowledged that although the prize money remains relatively modest, it can serve as a catalyst for attracting additional income-generating opportunities for the clubs.
Our objective is fund reforms, not fund clubs. When you fund reforms, these reforms will eventually generate resources. It's like going to catch fish, we give you the net instead of giving you the fish. So the money is to fund reforms, the money is not to reduce on the financial burden of the club, because in any case, 1 plus a million plus 1 is a million. It wouldn't have any value addition, but it can be utilized in a manner that can create the value of the rights. And then this value of the rights is what the clubs will benefit from in the long term. So the funding is...
Meanwhile, Parliament has commended the Uganda Cranes for their historic performance at the 2024 African Nations Championship at CHAN, where the team reached the quarterfinals for the first time. Yesterday, the State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, moved a motion for a resolution of Parliament to pay glowing tribute to the national football team. The motion was seconded by Engineer Moses Magogo Budiope East, a member of Parliament who serves as the president of the Federation of Uganda Football Associations, FIFA, and unanimously adopted. And now from across Uganda's borders, nearly 130 people have been summarily executed by Islamist insurgents in Niger in separate attacks since March. A report by the Human Rights Watch says. The rights group says a gunman carried out a series of brutal attacks, including a mass murder at a mosque in the western Tilaberi region in June, where more than 70 worshippers were shot dead during prayers. The spate of attacks is a major blow to the credibility of Niger's military junta, as it promised to curb the insurgency when it took power after deposing President Mohamed Bazoum in 2023. About 1,600 civilians have been killed by Islamist State IS group fighters in Niger since the coup, Human Rights Watch says, citing figures collected by the conflict monitoring group outlet. And that's it for now. Thank you for joining us.